My name is Avery Quinn, and I heard my father ruin me before he even knew he worked for me. It happened on Thanksgiving night in my Aunt Marjorie's narrow dining room in Tacoma. The air smelled like roasted turkey and old family hierarchy. From the hallway, I could see everyone around the table, my brother Connor, the favorite son, retelling his latest promotion story. My father laughed too loudly, gripping his glass of Merlot like a trophy. Then I heard it, Avery. She'll never own anything worth talking about. Trust me. I froze. My phone glowed with an email from my COO confirming our acquisition of Praxton Sales Systems. Scrolling down, I saw it Martin Quinn, Regional Sales Director. My father's name. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Laughter and silverware clattered in the background as my heart pounded. He had no idea the daughter he dismissed had just become part owner of the company that now employed him. I wanted to step in and drop the truth like thunder, but not tonight. Not like this. The drive back to Seattle felt longer than usual, rain streaking the windshield in thin silver threads. I turned off the radio. My father's voice was already loud enough in my head. At my apartment downtown, the city slept beneath the mist. My loft looked calm and beautiful. Exposed brick, high windows, polished floors, everything that was supposed to prove I'd made it. Yet his words still echoed. She'll never own anything worth talking about. I whispered them aloud, letting them burn quietly. Then I opened my laptop. The document confirmed it again. The acquisition had closed. Praxton employees would transition to Vellum Works on Monday. Line 36, his name. Proof. For once, life had its own poetic timing. Nadia, my co-founder, texted, "Deal closed." "Drinks tomorrow," I typed. "Sure. Big day." Then deleted the words, "You have no idea." I could still see my father's face, so certain when he dismissed me. He had always believed he knew who succeeded and who didn't. For years I'd accepted that certainty as truth. I poured out my untouched water and leaned against the counter, staring at my reflection. Tired eyes, clenched jaw, a faint tremor in my hand. I'd wanted success to fix it, to force him to see me. But now I understood validation never comes from people determined not to give it. The rain thickened outside. I pictured him back at my aunt's house, laughing with my brother, unaware how fast the world had shifted. He still thought he held the power. Soon that illusion would break, but on my terms. I turned off the lights and let the city glow fill the room. For the first time, I didn't run from his voice. I just listened to the rain and let the quiet fire inside me burn steady. Monday would come soon. And when it did, he'd walk into a new office, wearing his usual confidence, never realizing it was mine. Seattle was gray. The way only Seattle can be soft, constant heavy. From my window, the sky pressed low over Lake Union. I tried to focus on the spreadsheet on my laptop, but my father's voice wouldn't leave. That voice had lived in my head for years, like a rule I never agreed to, but always obeyed. Connor had been the golden one, private tutors, college tours, endless praise. I got what was left, polite encouragement, a pat on the shoulder that meant you tried. At 14, I stopped asking for help. I found my grandmother's old laptop and taught myself to code. No one cared what I was doing behind my door, and that freedom became a gift. When I won a scholarship, my father didn't even look up from his phone. "At least you won't be a financial burden." I smiled anyway, hoping pride might be accidental. But stubbornness became my currency. I climbed from junior developer to project lead, learning the politics of rooms that overlooked me. That's where I met Nadia Park, sharp, unflinching, allergic to pretense. She called me the silent engine. 2 years later, we left to start Vellum Works. We built it from sleepless nights and takeout boxes. No investors at first, just grit, and an idea that worked, organizing the chaos of big companies' sales pipelines. By year 2, we had a waiting list. Then came Oliver Trent, a venture capitalist with calm eyes and sharp instincts. He believed in our numbers. When he led our Series A, I thought finally proof. I called my father. "Startups fail all the time, Avery. Get something stable." It should have rolled off by then, but it cut deep. Stability to him meant safety. To me, surrender. Every success I'd earned was an argument in a debate he'd never joined. But I wasn't that daughter anymore. He didn't have to see me for me to exist, though part of me still wanted him to. That was my last thought before opening the roster again, staring at his name under the Vellum Works header. It was official. My father now worked for me. He just didn't know it yet. By mid-December, Seattle was gray and heavy with fog. The office lights of Vellum Works glowed through the glass when Caleb, our COO, appeared at my door, laptop in hand. "Got a minute?" He turned the screen toward me. Old Praxton emails, all from Martin Quinn. My father. Messages calling my company naive, warning clients to proceed with caution. Then a LinkedIn page labeling him advisor to Vellum Works. "He's been telling people he's involved with us," Caleb said. "It's a conflict now that we own Praxton. You should decide what to do." I kept my voice steady. "Save everything." That night, walking home through drizzle, my cousin texted, "Are you okay financially? Uncle Martin says things have been rough. Still rewriting my story." I replied, "I'm fine," then deleted the thread. At home, I made a folder evidence and saved every file. It didn't feel like paranoia anymore. It felt like protection. A few days later, I told Nadia. She listened quietly. "So he tried to sabotage you. And now he works for you." "Yeah." "Do you want revenge?" "No. I want to end it right." "Then do it by the book. Don't let him drag you into his chaos." Rain streaked the windows like gold lines over glass. For the first time, I felt seen by myself. 2 days later, Caleb called a meeting with HR and legal. Rebecca Flores. Our counsel spoke calmly. His actions, emails, false advisor title, client interference all qualify as internal misconduct. I listened, hands clasped. Hearing my father discussed like any other employee felt unreal. "Options," I asked. "Resignation with severance," Rebecca said, "or disciplinary termination with cause." Nadia squeezed my shoulder. "Pick peace," she whispered. That night, my therapist, Dr. Simone, asked, "What are you afraid of?" "That doing this makes me like him." "Setting boundaries isn't cruelty," she said. "It's clarity." For the first time, I understood family and fairness aren't the same thing. When I got home, I drafted 2 documents, one letter to HR with the evidence, and one blank resignation template bearing his name. I printed everything the next morning, steady but cold inside. Caleb asked, "You sure you want to handle it personally?" "Yes," I said. He should hear it from me. He nodded. "HR's ready. You're covered." That night, I chose a quiet Italian restaurant downtown and texted my father. "Lunch tomorrow. Just us." He replied, "Sure. What's this about?" "You'll see." The city lights flickered against the window as I closed my laptop. My heartbeat was steady. Tomorrow I'd draw the line between who I used to be and who I'd become. The restaurant was tucked between 2 office buildings on a quiet downtown street, a place with white tablecloths and soft jazz humming through ceiling speakers. I'd chosen it because it felt neutral, like a stage set for a scene that needed to be clean, controlled, and final. I arrived early, ordered sparkling water, and placed the folder on the seat beside me. Every page inside was proof the emails the false advisor claimed the whispers he'd planted in our family. I didn't hate him, not exactly. What I felt was sharper, quieter, like grief dressed as composure. He arrived 10 minutes late, phone in hand, suit pressed crisp as always. He didn't look surprised to see me, just mildly inconvenienced. "You look tense," he said, sliding into the booth. "This about work. I've got a meeting at 2. "It won't take long," I said. He finally looked up, maybe noticing the seriousness in my tone. "All right," he said, half smiling. "What's this about?" I took a slow breath. Vellum Works acquired Praxton last month. The deal closed 3 weeks ago. He blinked, then laughed. "You're joking." "I'm not." The laughter faded, his brow furrowed. "You're saying your company bought mine?" "Yes," I said. "Praxton is now part of Vellum Works. You'll report to Caleb Ortiz." Disbelief drained his face. "That's not possible!" "HR will confirm," I replied. He leaned back. "So, this is your victory lap." "You wanted to see me squirm." "No," I said quietly. "I wanted you to know the truth first." I slid the folder across the table. He opened it. His own emails calling Vellum Works a naive startup, his message warning clients away, and the LinkedIn post naming himself advisor to Vellum Works. "Where did you get these?" he asked. "They were in Praxton's records." "You're spying on me now." "I'm protecting what I built. You've been undermining it in me," he scoffed. "You're exaggerating." "Realistic," I shot back. "You told clients not to work with us, spread rumors, turned family against me. That's cruelty." He looked away, smirking faintly. "You always were dramatic." That word hit harder than any insult. It was the same one he used when he forgot my science fair when I quit my safe job to start Vellum Works. I pulled out one last paper. "Option 1, I said resign with severance and a neutral reference. Option 2, a disciplinary process. Either way, your employment ends this week." He stared at the letter. "You're firing me." "I'm giving you a choice." He slammed the folder shut. "You can't do this. I'm your father." "I know," I said. "But I don't need your approval anymore. I need peace." Silence filled the room until even the jazz faded. I stood. "You have until Friday to decide. After that, HR handles it." Outside, the light was cold and clean. For the first time, I wasn't walking away in shame, I was walking away in control. 3 days later, Caleb forwarded an email resignation, effective immediately, no apology, no explanation, just 2 lines, neat and final. That night my mother called, her voice tight. "Avery, what did you do? Your father's devastated. Fix this." "I didn't do anything to him, Mom. He made his choices." "He's your father." "I know, but being my father doesn't erase what he did. He worked his whole life for this family, and he sabotaged mine. You want me to pretend that didn't happen?" "You've changed," she whispered. "I hope so. I used to let him decide who I was. When we hung up, I texted, 'I love you, but I can't be the peacekeeper anymore.' She never replied. Weeks passed. HR closed the file. Life moved on, but something inside me had finally shifted. One night Nadia showed up with pizza and cheap champagne. "To clean endings," she said. "Do they ever exist?" "Close enough counts." I laughed freely for once. Later, alone in the office glow, I looked around at what I'd built. Dr. Simone called it the aftermath of freedom, heavy and light all at once. Some mornings I felt weightless, others haunted by silence where his approval used to be. But it was an honest silence, and that made it bearable. A year later, on Thanksgiving, I stayed with Nadia's family. Her father said, "We're proud of you." Simple words that filled a hollow I carried for years. Outside rain shimmered under streetlights. I thought of my father, not with anger, just distance. He'd built a world ruled by his version of success. I'd built mine from the pieces he left behind. I didn't need him to see it. I saw it. That was enough. Freedom, I realized, isn't loud. It's the quiet moment when you stop waiting for someone to see you and finally see yourself. In the end, I didn't destroy my father. I outgrew him, and that I learned is the most powerful victory there is.